The mic drop. Unequivocally one of the most dope ways to end a performance. Mic drop's not only a way to let you know that I'm done, it's to let you know that you're done too. From famous speeches, music acts, rap battles, and so much more. We all love a good mic drop, or dropping the mic. But that's where the love for the mic drop actually ends for me, because it's a privilege not a lot of us get. For you to have a mic drop moment, you need to have a microphone, which means you need to be speaking to a large group of people and amplifying your voice. Now this is a privilege that most of us will never get to share into, but that ends today. All of us have used a video calling software before, be that Skype, Teams, Zoom, FaceTime. We all know how the call works, and they always end kind of like this.
And yeah, that's this quarter's report. Any questions? No? Okay. No worries. Bye.
Look at me. You deserve better than that. And today we're going to do that. We're going to build you your own droppable microphone. Now, I don't even know if this thing's going to work. Hi, Future Sean here. Just to let you know, in fact, it does work. That's still relevant, right? Cool. Well, let's just go with the assumption that it actually does work. Now, this is going to go a bit more technical than some of the other videos that I've done. I know a lot of people might not be interested in that, so instead of putting up like a Minecraft parkour video or like a Subway Surfer on the side, if you wanted to skip to the fun bit, just skip to this chunk right here. So you didn't skip. Cool. Which means that you're going to see some of the technical aspects. So let's go through some of the engineering design that kind of went into the whole idea of how the mic drop will work. So to get a mic drop to actually work, let's try to think of this like an engineering black box where we have inputs coming in, then outputs going out. So in terms of the outputs, let's start there. Now in terms of how to end phone calls, send emails, there's a lot of different shortcuts that your computer naturally has built into it. So if you can create a keyboard and then program those keys, effectively you're doing the same thing as sending input to close an email to open a program, which is what I'm going to do. Now the inputs. Now the actual way to detect a freefall isn't as difficult as you may think. For less than $10, you can buy yourself a little accelerometer which can detect if you're moving up, down, left, right, rotating, and if your acceleration matches gravity, or in another way of saying, free fall, or you're just dropping the microphone, or just dropping something in general. I'm actually not going to focus on the black box itself, that's just the coding element. I'll put the code somewhere else, but for the time being, let's just focus on making sure everything kind of works together. Effectively, what I want to devise is something that can recreate a damn keyboard. And that will be doing all the processing power. To actually do the detection of freefall, I'm going to be using this, which is a Arduino Tech accelerometer. As you can see, well, you can't really see, but there's me typing on the keyboard. I've now got it set up so if it's in this position, I can move it around, doesn't do anything. The accelerometer detects things, but it's not actually detecting a free fall. If you drop it, nothing really happens, as you can see on the screen over there, and then here. Now, if I switch it to one of these commands, for example this one, switch it to one of them, oh, it's detected a free fall accidentally. That can happen in any work on sensitivity, but I can move it around a little bit, seems to be okay, but if I then drop it, detects a free fall and types out a little bit of text. So I've just got the copy pasta from the Navy Marines one. Now, if I switch it to the other one and then drop it again, it does a different copy pasta. This one's from like the Founding Fathers gun conversation piece. So, but if we put it back to standard, nothing happens. And so I've got a little karaoke microphone, which I'll be perfectly frank, I have pulled this thing apart before and put it back together with the whole purpose of showing you kind of how it all works and some of the components inside, which I will recycle, and they're quite interesting. So let's get up taking this thing apart. Okay, so kind of moving some things around and making some holes and adjustments, I've been able to fit this in quite easily. And so I'm actually going to recycle some of the components, and now I just got to put this all together and make it look good. Now, to do that, some of the buttons are designed to clip onto this here motherboard. We're going to skip that and just glue them straight on because, well, I don't have the time of day for this. So let's just go around and start hot gluing everything together, making it look like it's a real normal remote. One of the things I'm actually going to do now that I've glued quite a bit of those buttons back down is actually use some of the padding that was in the microphone before to protect some of the components. Because we'll be dropping some of these things quite a lot, it's probably better to get these things nice and safe and snug inside without damaging them too much. So let's put some protection in here, shall we? This piece, screw that back together. It's surprisingly so much lighter without the damn speaker in it. It's crazy how much weight the battery and the speaker just made up in this. Just like that. That goes through there, and all I need to do is find a screwdriver, which I'll do off screen. Oh, shit, that was quick. So I'm glad to not only say it works, but it was quite easy to build, and you can do it yourself. I released a few TikToks and YouTubes last week which were quite well received about the droppable microphone, but I did get some questions and comments around the design, and those have been addressed already. Those three main comments are, what if you accidentally drop it or like your cat knocks it off the table? It's a very fair point. For those who didn't see the technical side of the video, there's a little switch here that I've installed on the bottom. Now, in the standard position like this, it is in the off position. You can drop it, wiggle it around, throw it across the room, wouldn't recommend it, and it won't do anything. Effectively, it's not armed, it's like a fail-safe. Now, if I flick it to the left, it means it's now programmed from Teams call, so even though you can move it around, only then do you drop, will it actually exit the phone call. And for me, on the right trigger switch, the opposite side, it now sends email, so it does the email shortcut. So for me, that last email on the Friday afternoon before you log off work, just slaps. Can you make it put on sunglasses and then play some music? Actually, great idea. I did work on that during the week, and now when I drop it, not only does it leave the Teams call, but it now also plays whatever music's queued up in Spotify. So for me, I've now got some pretty sick exit music. That being said, the sunglasses are still quite manual. And 3, it needs a longer delay. When you drop the microphone before, it just exited the phone call, which was fine for me because I felt badass, but the people on the phone call didn't see you leave. They didn't see the drop of the mic. So I've actually added in an extra delay. Really good shout. I actually, in between that video and now, I've added a delay. So when you drop that microphone, they get to see it, and then it exits the phone call, so it gives you that little mwah. And the only way I could have done that was being the designer, being able to access the underlying code, for which you can too. Now you too can develop and build your own droppable microphone to give you that little when you have those Teams meetings. The underlying Arduino code, the Leonardo library, means it works with any software system and any program that has shortcuts, which is all of them. Now you can definitely glean from this video how to build your own droppable microphone. We will be putting additional coding and the exact components that we used onto our Patreon. Our plan is to build projects and research topics every single week. So by being a supporter of the Engineering Dads, you then get access to additional information, content, and workings of all the projects that we do on this channel. But with that all said, let's finish this video the same way it started, shall we?